Okay, hello, good afternoon, and welcome back to Fredericksburg, Virginia, Shannon Airport, Kilo Echo Zulu Foxtrot. So this time we're in X-Plane and we're in the VFlyteAir Arrow, Arrow 3. We're going to recreate the flight that I did Friday in real life and the one that I did in Microsoft with the JustFlight Arrow, and we can compare, kind of a three-way comparison. So let's get into it. We're going to use the same runways, same flight, just direct from Shannon Airport to Front Royal. So the weather, just checking on my phone now, 220 at 4, broken 12,000, 2985 on the altimeter. And at Front Royal, winds are calm. Oh, scattered 1,800, scattered 4,200. So that should be interesting. So a little bit different weather. We're using ActiveSky weather here. So, well, let's see what we get. Hope to do this VFR 2985. All right, and let's start it up. All right, so master on, window open, circuit breakers in, mixture idle cut off, fuel pump on. Prime the engine, fuel pump off, crank it. Good. Let's plug our headphones in. Oh, clear prop. And yep, clear prop. Off to a rip-roaring start here. Start the timer. For the engine, and oil pressure is down there. Looks good. All right, avionics can come on. Aspen can come on. I think we still have a flight plan in here. No. So we're going from Shannon. Oops. To Front Royal, and that's it. And let's see. And we're track up, so that's good. And all right, good to go. No VATSIM. Just VFR, hopefully. Although the weather out at Front Royal looks a little iffy. Put our airspeed in miles per hour, like I have in the real Arrow. Heading bug, we're going to use runway 6060. Jeez. All right. Flight instruments, airspeed indicator is looking good. Aspen's looking good. I'll go ahead and set, we'll try to go at 4,500. We'll see what the weather looks like. Altimeter is set. Turn coordinator looks good. Vertical speed indicator showing 0. Radios, we'll pretend that we've got Unicom set there. We've already got the weather. Transponder is going to be, where's our transponder? Why isn't it on? 1200 VFR mode. Let's put it in out. All right, good to go. And let's go ahead and do a let's taxi out. We'll do our run up over there. Yeah, the scenery here is not bad actually. It kind of looks like, at least the layout of the ramp is pretty accurate. Whoa, hey, heads up. The buildings don't look correct, but that's fine. Train tracks are definitely there because I saw a train coming by as I was back taxiing down 6 in real life on Friday, so that's kind of cool. Alright, let's park it here. Do our run up. Do our flight controls check. Good. Trims set after neutral. Let's do a run up real quick. The way that the RPM, the tachometer reacts to the throttle increase there is very accurate. That's spot on. Alright, so let's do good. Mag check. Good. Cycle the prop once. See, that RPM drop is right on. Oil pressure. It's good. And then looking for oil on the windscreen. I don't see any. It's good. Turn the pitot heat on and check for an increase on the ammeter, which is not where my ammeter is, so we'll say that's good. And then an idle check. See how the RPMs drop immediately when I pull the throttle back? That's right on, and that's good idle right there. All right, mixture lean back for ground ops here. All right, let's taxi out. Shannon traffic Arrow 1202 Romeo is going to back taxi runway 6 for departure on 6. Shannon. Ortho scenery looks pretty good. There's a field right there in real life. There's actually another the grass runway that crosses, which is, yeah, it's right there. That's pretty cool. This airport, like I said in the previous stream, it sits in the middle of a forest. It's really hard to spot. So, taxi out here. I tried to do this stream earlier and I got some weird VR issues. I don't know if it's, I think it's StreamLabs conflicting with something. Hopefully this will work out a little bit better. So we're going to do a short field takeoff here, so my brake, oh yeah, my toe brakes are bad on these rudder pedals. I have a cheap set of Logitechs that I had to repair myself, so we can actually use the full length of the runway. We can use the displaced threshold. Don't really need to do a short field takeoff here, but I did one in real life to practice, and I did one on the previous stream. So, whoa, that's aggressive. Woo, I'm dizzy. So we'll do one here too. Line up on center line, brakes, fuel pump on, landing light on, full power, smoothly applied. Engine indicators look good. Let's go. Go on the center line here. Speed is green. Airspeed is coming alive. We're going to rotate at 60. Gentle back pressure. Alright, gear up. We're going to get a warning. It's the gear extension warning. It's fine. Retract flaps. Retract flaps. Pitch for 100. And trimming. Looking good. There's 100. Shannon traffic, Arrow tells 02 Romeo is going to be departing the pattern off to the west. Shannon. Let's trim, get a good rate of climb going here. That little mark, that little area on the GPS, there's a MOA. We can go through that. I actually skirted it in real life, but we're okay to go through that. Good. We can pull the prop back 2,500. We can lean a little bit here in the climb. I'm not sure what body of water that is. I'm not sure that's there in real life, but I guess it is. This is Forkboy Orthos. Alright, that's good. See if we can get a good cruise climb going here. Alright, everything's looking good here. What we can do also is just go direct. Good. I think we'll just climb up to 3,500 feet. Sync up our heading bug. Very good. On our way to Front Royal. We got our timer going. Tell us when to switch tanks. And there's the Blue Ridge. There are the Blue Ridge Mountains off in the distance there. So far so good. Ortho looks pretty good. I'll let y'all compare how it looked in MSFS. I much prefer the VFlyteAir Arrow to the JustFlight one, to be honest with you. I mean, it is almost exactly like mine, except I don't have a 275. I have the Aspen though, and I have a 430, so it's a lot more comfortable to fly this one. And honestly, I think it handles a little bit better. It's a little easier to trim out, although that's a little touchy with the electric trim, which I don't have. Looking good. Lean a little bit more in the climb here. Get back on our intended course. There's coming up on 3,500 feet. And I think we'll just stay there as we get. I just want to stay under this weather here. So let's level it off. Ease off. Whoops. See, that trim is a little touchy. Try to trim off the back pressure here. And look at that, up and down, up and down. That's pretty good. Let's go ahead and pull this back to 24 inches. Manifold pressure, that's pretty close. Prop can come back to 24 as well. There we go. Squared it off nicely. And then we can lean this out to 10 gallons an hour. There we go. Alright, cruise checks, fuel pump, and landing light come off. Automation we're not going to use. Mixture set, prop set. And power set. Cruise checks complete. So that's that. Let's see if we can hold altitude here to a degree of professionalism, to Be commercial standards, right? Pretty good. I'm not going to play with it too much. It's a little bit tricky to trim out, although this is pretty good for this power setting. Stay on course here. See, I like that altimeter to read exactly where I want it to be. Having that needle at 3,550 feet kind of irritates me. Then I'm not going to chase it. So this is ActiveSky weather with, I think these are just ActiveSky high performance clouds, so nothing too special. It doesn't look half bad. The cloud cover is a little different from the Microsoft stream that I did with the JustFlight, so it's not going to look exactly the same. All in all, not bad. The Forkboy Orthos. Now, it did take me days to download all of that, and it's terabytes worth of data that I have stored on a hard drive, but you know what? It's not bad. This is a quick flight. It's about 30 minutes, I think. 35 minutes or so in real life, just over the Blue Ridge. Front Royal, there's not a whole lot there. Just a nice airport that I hadn't been to, and I wanted to get a stamp in my Virginia aviation passport, so I did. So the approach to Front Royal is interesting. You've got to go over those mountains and then immediately start to descend to get down to pattern altitude, which is at 1,700 feet. Airport elevation 700. So it's not a dive, but you definitely have to kind of manage the descent. I think we might be able to go up to 4,500. I don't know. What do you guys think? You know what? Let's do it. Let's go ahead and climb up. Just to make sure we can clear those mountains. I think we'll be okay. I think we'll stay in VMC. We'll see. I mean, we'll duck back down if we have to. Altitude is always a good thing, though. Looking good. Scenery looks good. Some odd placed trees, but whatever. $200 to go. That manifold pressure is kind of falling off now, as it should, as we climb. There's 100 to go. Let's start to level off here. And then we can trim it out again. There's 4,500. Power back, squared off, 24 and 24. And this is pretty good right here. $35 miles to go. There's Warrenton Airport down there somewhere. Stop there for gas every once in a while when it's cheaper. Yeah, X-Plane 11 doesn't look too bad, huh? Kind of miss flying an X-Plane. Flight models are just so much better. Oh, watch our altitude here. What are we doing? Come on. No automation. Hand flying it the whole way, just like we did in the previous stream. This is real time, by the way. I have the X-Plane time set to real time. How's our fuel looking? We burned through 3 gallons after about 18 minutes. It's fine. Actually, I think it was more like 2 gallons. I think we started out with 20 in the left tank. Love having the Aspen in this plane. It's just that thing is just so well done by VFlyteAir. I mean, it is really good. There's a G5 version of this plane too. I don't have the G5, so I just stick with the Aspen, and it is just like flying the real thing. I'm going to go ahead and switch tanks now, so we don't have to do that when we're going over the mountains. And we've got an airport down there to the right. We got Warrenton down there, so let's do that now. Let's go fuel pump on. Monitoring fuel flow, which is good. And let's switch tanks. And we're on the right tank. And fuel flow still looks good, as does fuel pressure. That can come off. We can reset the timer, which would be where? There we go. Good. Charlottesville is down there somewhere on the east side of those ridges. Destination for my first ever solo cross country many years ago. And home of the University of Virginia. Yeah, orthos do look pretty good. It'd be interesting to watch these 2 streams back to back and see which one I like better. Because right now this is pretty immersive. I just forgot how good X-Plane is. Especially the way that this plane handles. I mean, this thing flies just great. It is very much like flying the real Arrow. Now I don't have an Arrow 3. I've got a PA-28R200, so it's an older model of the Arrow. I think I mentioned this on the last stream. It's got less legroom back there. Shorter fuselage and a totally different wing that disrespects ground effect like nothing else. You pull the power out and it drops. And in ground effect, you better watch out. Don't pull the power out when you're 10 feet off the ground, or you'll stall it and then you'll plunk it and put the struts right through the wing if you're not careful. That's not totally accurate. Actually, the Oleo struts are pretty stout on this plane. Probably why it makes it a really good commercial trainer. People doing their power off 180s, just smashing it down. Alright, 26 miles to go. Passing over the Casanova VOR right now. Which means Culpeper is down there. I see it. There's Culpeper Airport down there, like our 8 o'clock, 7 o'clock. I think the weather's going to work out for us. Looks like we're going to be able to stay under the layer. Let us now. bear with me. Let's check the weather at Front Royal. Winds calm, scattered 8,000 now. Fly the airplane here while I look at my phone. Scattered 8,000, winds calm, visibility 10 statute miles, altimeter 2988. All right, so we're going to use runway 10 like we did in the previous stream and like I did in real life. Was it 2988? 2988. Well, I guess we could set it here too, more precisely. I actually have to set it twice in the Arrow. I set it once on the Aspen and then once the Colesman here on the altimeter. And honestly, I look at I don't look at these tapes. I look at the analog instruments. I look at the ASI and the altimeter here. I just don't look at the tapes. I don't know why. They're handy. Helps with the scan, that's for sure. But I don't know. Just I guess from flying airplanes without that, without the speed and altitude tapes, GA anyway. I'm used to looking at analog ASI and the analog altimeter in the real Arrow, which is set up. It's exactly like this. But this is an electric turn coordinator. It's actually another. It's another attitude indicator and turn coordinator. But it's electric powered. No vacuum system in my Arrow. Actually, that may be the case here. That's probably electric. It's probably that someone removed the vacuum system in this Arrow also to save weight. 20 miles. We'll make a call at 15. We're looking good. And this is looking real good, actually. Scenery looks good. Mountains look good. Weather looks good enough. Airplane is wonderfully modeled. Keep getting that beep is just the altitude or the altitude bug alerter. Ours doesn't sound like that. We just have a tone generator that makes this beep. Nice smooth flight. No turbulence, no convective activity. I guess the cloud cover kind of kept that down today, although in real life it's hot here. Once we clear the ridge, there's actually another ridge after the taller one. We can start down and you know, it's kind of like a nice glide path down over the top ridge and then continuing the descent over the lower ridge and then kind of make a turn to the left so that we can set up for a kind of a perpendicular midfield crossing and then enter the downwind on a teardrop for 10. All right. It's actually nice to have that yelling at me that I've got it set to 4,400. Whoops. Yeah. You can also swing it to the little bit more north there and head through that pass. At a lower altitude, I don't really mess around with low altitudes over these ridges and trying to do, scud run it if the weather's low. Just personal minimum, I guess I have for self-preservation's sake. Good. I know it's kind of a boring flight, but it's just kind of a comparison flight. Real life versus Microsoft versus X-Plane. Which one is more realistic? Unfortunately, I don't have a GoPro in the real Arrow. I would have taken a video of the whole flight. That would have been kind of an epic three-way comparison, because then you could have actually seen the real flight. That's kind of on my list. I need to figure out which one I want to get, and then how to tap the audio into it. I can make a radio call now. Front route traffic, Arrow 1202 Romeo is 13 miles to the southeast. I'm going to cross midfield and then do a teardrop entry left downwind for 10 at Front Royal. On a busy day, there's no way I would have gotten all that out on CTAF. All you would have heard is like with all the other pilots trying to communicate on shared CTAF frequencies. So now you can see the multiple ridges. And then after that second ridge, that's where Front Royal Airport is. The town of Front Royal is off to the right there. Kind of directly through that pass. Where are we descending? There we go. Actually, we could start to descend a little bit now. Let's pull this back to about 20. And let the aircraft start to descend a little bit. I don't want to go too crazy here. 20 inches of manifold pressure equals about a 500 foot per minute descent rate, which is comfortable for the passengers' ears and mine. And that's pretty bang on accurate. I'm not trimming at all. I'm not touching anything. I'm just flying with my thumb right now, making tiny corrections. And like I said, we don't want to descend too much, so we can level off and let the airspeed bleed off a little bit if we have to here. Here's the Blue Ridge, and then in between those ridges there is the Shenandoah Valley, where the Shenandoah River kind of cuts a swath down to the southwest, I guess. And this is looking good. Flight's going too smooth. Something tells me StreamLabs is not recording. I'm not sure why I'm getting that feeling, but I don't know. I don't want to check right now either because it's too late. So whatever. It's either recording this or it's not. So what I want to do now too is set my heading bug to 100, just to give us a reference. There's 33,500 past. What I'll do is I'll kind of cut it through this little pass right here, and you can see the airport now off to about 1 o'clock, and you can see I'm making a little jog left here so I can cross perpendicularly. And I want to go at no lower than 2,200 feet. It's enriching the mixture a little bit here as we get lower. Pull some more power out, help the descent. There's the airport right there, I think. I thought I saw it. Oh, that's a little bit aggressive on the descent rate. Good. Where did the airport go? I think that's it right there. All right. You watch, I probably screwed this up. No, that's right there. We're good. Front royal traffic, Arrow 1202 Romeo's 3 miles to the southeast. We're going to cross midfield and then teardrop entry left downwind for 10 at front royal. There's the airport right off the nose. Looking good. We don't want to get too low, so we interfere with other traffic in the pattern. And we don't want to be too fast either because we are about to enter the pattern, so let's pull this back a little bit more. A little bit of up trim to maintain this altitude. All right, there's the airport. And there's the hill that we're going to fly out on the downwind, so that's a good landmark. So we'll fly out a little ways here. Oh, let's not get too low, although now we cross midfield. We can start our descent. Let it come down here. Fly a couple of miles past and then start the turn. Slowing it down here nicely. Descending nicely. A good perpendicular course. There's the town of Front Royal over there. 1,900. Coming down. We don't want to start the turn yet. Alright. Now let's go. Turn. We gotta watch our. We've got to watch our altitude here. We don't want to get too low. It's alright that we're slowing down too. We're waiting for that heading bug to kind of swing around. That's going to put us on a reciprocal. That's the altitude. Too low. Right, there's the airport over there. It's going to be kind of a wide pattern, but all right. A little slow here. Front royal traffic, Arrow 1202 Romeo's on the left downwind for 10 full stop front royal. All right. So we go gear down. Little pump and landing light can come on. And we can go first notch of flaps. There's the airport and we're a little bit low. So we're going to fly at that hill. Miles an hour on downwind is good. I don't want to get too low though. Note the hill in front of us. And obviously we're going to want to start a base turn pretty soon. Front row traffic, Arrow 1202 is turning left base, runway 10 front row. This is kind of a bomber pattern of a base. And we go mixture full rich. That's looking good. Probably flew too wide of a downwind here for this terrain. I did call base. Why am I not turning it? Don't ask me. A little bit. Second notch of flaps. Get some power out. 90 knots, looking good. Gears down 3 green, mixtures full rich. Prop can start to come forward now. Front row traffic, Arrow 1202 Romeo is turning final 10 front row. There's 90 knots. This is looking pretty good. My phone is ringing. I'm going to go ahead and ignore that. I need to be slowing down. Not too fast. I also don't want to stall spin in. Oh, and we're a little bit high. That's all right. That tree is definitely not like that, but we'll clear it. Oh, wow. Yeah, that tree isn't there. That's unnerving. Heads up. There we go. There's 80. Starting to pull power out. There's the numbers. And holding it off the runway. Looking down the runway. Holding it off. Got a lot of runway to deal with. Whoop. There we go. Holding it off. Holding it off. Oh! Alright. I don't know what that is. I'm not sure what happened. Oh boy. Well. That's crazy. Okay. Oh, psychedelic arrow. Alright, well. That's enough for a comparison. That was a pretty good landing. Arrow braking. I'm not sure what all this nonsense is. Oh, fantastic. Alright, well, tell you what. Let's go ahead and end the stream. We'll just stop it right here. Oh, my goodness gracious. Alright. That's enough of this. Hope you all enjoyed it. We'll try to figure out what all that was about, but thanks.